And today we've got a really cool lady here. And I'm even going to promo you in my Saturday show. If you want to learn how to be a real woman, you got to check out Kristina Brawley. Now, you're a wife. You're a mom to precious Harper.
Mm-hmm.
You're also a full-time anesthesiologist. Kudos to you. That's
Thank
pretty
you.
amazing. But you've also taken on a side hustle, which is pretty intensive. You're a YouTuber. You're a vlogger. You've got a beautiful, I was telling you about your Instagram. I look at it. It's like this gorgeous, beautiful tapestry.
thanks.
So how do you, Kristina, first of all, let's look at your life as a wife, a mom, and an anesthesiologist. What's life like just with those things?
It's pretty full. I'm one of those people that really likes to just live life to the fullest. I know one of my most often questions is, when do you sleep? And it's like, well, I mean, I'll sleep when I'm dead. I really love
You're
to
one of
just get,
those.
love to
Yes.
get the most out of the day. Like, one of my biggest nightmares is sitting around on a Saturday and doing nothing. Like, getting nothing done. I like to just go and do stuff all the time. And there's always kind of like ideas in my head, like speaking of the YouTube and the blog and all that, like I'm always coming up with new ideas and I have to write them down as quickly as possible before I forget them. But I mean, it's busy. I work 4 days a week, 10-hour shifts. So I'm full time.
Right.
But then that gives me time to, like, 3 days basically to do everything else that I love doing. So it's basically
It's
a
like
split.
you've almost
It's a
got two
60-40
full-time
split.
jobs.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
you do that anesthesiologist thing, which is still
do.
amazing because you had to go to medical school. I mean,
Yes.
that's intensive
Yes.
on its own.
Yes.
But then you ventured into this social media world. What, 10 years ago is when you
Yes, about
started?
10 years ago, exactly.
How did this all start?
So it actually was born out of the ashes of tragedy. So my brother died when I was a second-year medical student. And and I was just so, at the time when he died, I was, the topic that I was studying actually for my block exams was suicide, which is how he died. And there was just a lot of like darkness and kind of, I just wanted to escape from medicine for a little. I didn't want to quit
Right.
medicine, but it was like it was my Hail Mary to make sure that I could keep going. And so I started a blog, it was actually called Pretty Shiny Sparkly. That was my name up until maybe 3 years ago.
Pretty shiny, sparkly.
Yeah, that was my
Love
blog
that.
name. And it was just about everything that was really bright and happy and sparkly and fun. And
I
just,
told you I picked that up on your Instagram.
Oh, thanks.
It's just, it brings happiness.
Yeah. And that's really what it was, an outlet for happiness. Things that I was just like, things I found on the internet that were really cool or interesting. And then a year later, that evolved into a YouTube channel. And I kind of knew after about 4 or 5 years that YouTube was the way to go for me. Like, I enjoyed it. I looked forward to my next video. I loved it so much more than blogging. I still love blogging. It's my first love because I have a background of self-taught web design and photography.
Look at you.
I love all things tech, and like I taught myself how to code when I was in college and high school.
Whoa.
I just love it, and I love photography. I'm a camera geek. I love all that, everything, microphones, audio. I'm totally into all of it. I built my own computer when I was in high school. So
That is amazing. And the fact that you took your precious brother's tragedy and turned it into something so beautiful. It's like a butterfly emerging.
Well, and
right?
that's what it grew from. It just kind of snowballed from there. It was just something that was my outlet, and then it just became a passion. And then my boyfriend, then fiance, now husband, helped me with it, and he would take my blog photos back when fashion blogging was just starting and all that. I was doing the fashion blogging, and then the YouTube evolved. So
All right, so let's talk about you said you loved doing the YouTube. You like to blog, but YouTube was your thing. So you're going to be behind camera.
I do,
Were you
yeah.
ever afraid?
Oh,
Were you
yeah.
ever self-conscious? What was it? Because I know there's a lot of people in media that don't want to be behind the camera because
Yeah.
there's so many insecurities. How did you combat that? They say public speaking, the greatest fear we have.
Oh, yeah. And that was one of my biggest fears, was public speaking. But I actually overcame that with the help of YouTube. But also, I was on a lot of panels for blogging conferences. That was a big thing, and they still are. I hosted a lot of panels.
Now, is this here in Houston? or-
everywhere?
Okay.
California, New York, Florida, all those. I mean, here in Texas, they're hosted all over the place. But for me, that initial fear was overcome by the fact that when I posted to YouTube, I had no subscribers. I had nobody. I mean, nobody that I thought was I thought nobody was watching.
Right.
So I just put it up there, and it's kind of like, nobody will see that.
What was your first one?
The first one I ever did, I think, I still have my oldest videos live on my channel, but it was either a beauty blender review back when nobody knew what a beauty blender was, which is a makeup sponge to apply makeup.
Okay.
Or it was
Can I get it on Amazon today?
Yes, you can. And it's now one of the biggest kind of makeup sponges out there. Or it was a what's in my bag video. And I had seen one before. I don't remember who did it, but it's this kind of voyeuristic look into like what you carry around in your purse. And it's so addictive to watch because it's like, you have this, like, what do you keep in there? You know what I mean? Like, it's more sometimes than just boring, like, keys and wallet and phone, you know? So for me, I had a taser in there, and people thought that was hilarious. And so that took off, and people started subscribing. But, yeah, I mean, that was my oldest video. I thought, nobody would watch.
That is,
you know?
well, first of all, you're very watchable. You've got a beautiful face.
Oh,
and
thank you.
You're perfect for when you model. You've got so many cute outfits that you model.
Thanks.
So you feel very comfortable. Like you're someone that we can relate to. It's not so out there like I could never do that. You just make it feel comfortable. So I think you're very inviting.
Oh, thank you.
I think that's what a lot of your success is.
Well, thank
but
you.
clever.
That's so sweet.
And hysterical. You did your BMW. How did you get this BMW review where you went in and test drove a BMW? How did that go down?
So actually, I own my BMW, but I test drove a Tesla Model X
That's right.
a couple weeks
that's
ago.
Right. Yes, it was the
And
Tesla.
That was, I just brought my camera. I scheduled nobody knew I was going to be filming or anything. I did ask, our test drive person if it was okay if it was on camera. He's like, yeah, sure, no problem. But no, we just take the camera along and people, I think if we would have done that like 5 years ago, people would be like, why do you have a camera in my face? But
they get it now.
They get it. They get vlogging. They understand it. They're still kind of like taken aback, like they've maybe never seen a vlogger in real life, but they get it. They're like, oh, do you care if we vlog? And vlog was not a term, 5 or 6 years ago. So, we just took the camera along. That's what we do. I just take the camera along. I pick it up, hit record, and then the most fun to me is the editing. I love editing. I think it's so much fun.
Do you pick out a particular outfit? I mean, when we do these videos here, we're on radio. No one's supposed to know what we look like.
Yeah.
But then the videos started coming. I'm like, man,
Now you have to
normally
look
I wear the
cute.
same outfit every day, but people are going to get sick of seeing that gray T-shirt. I got to change it up a little bit. Do you think about that when you're doing this? Do you get your hair done, your makeup, stuff like that?
So for today, yes, but normally, like my viewers, they know what I dress like, what I wear, and I don't really put too much thought into it because it's
beautiful
really
thing.
It's supposed to be like what if you were my friend and you were coming over to hang out at my house. Like I wouldn't necessarily dress up for you. As a sign of respect, I'd be like slummed out because I feel like that's more authentic than
I love that.
than dressing. I don't know. Some people would say you should dress up for your friends, but I'm the opposite. I feel like if you're comfortable with me being comfortable, then we're all good.
I said, if you want to know what a real woman is like, I knew it. I sensed it just by looking at your social media, and I hadn't even met you yet.
Oh,
and I
thanks.
already could pick it out. Now, let's talk about my most favorite snack when I'm taking road trips is a McFlurry.
Oh,
and
yeah.
you took it to the next level in one of your YouTubes. You got to talk about this.
Okay. So I recently did a video for my viewers testing out a Stroop Waffle McFlurry, which I guess McDonald's released recently as part of some international collaboration.
And yes, you heard her right. A Stroop Waffle McFlurry. All right?
It's
Not the Oreo
Nope.
or the other
Stroop
one.
Waffle.
The Stroop Waffle.
If you haven't heard of a Stroop Waffle, it's basically a Dutch cookie. It's like a wafer with caramel in between it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's something that very traditionally you place on top of your hot cup of tea or coffee, and it kind of melts. The caramel kind of melts and gets gooey on the inside. And it's delicious. If you haven't looked it up, you can get them on Amazon. You can get them everywhere.
Unbelievable.
And so I've been featuring them in my vlogs just anecdotally because I love them for the last 3-4 years. And so people were going nuts when they heard that McDonald's was announcing a Stroop Waffle McFlurry, and they were just my DMs and the Twitter messages, everything was coming in like, have you heard? Because it's like a friend. It's like texting your best friend and saying, oh my God, you need to go check this out. This is so you. right? And so
Right.
that's what people were saying. They were like, this is so you. If you haven't tried it, you need to try it. I need to know what you think. And so I said, I wouldn't have known about it, you know,
Had it not been for your
I
friends.
don't, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm not a McFlurry expert. I don't usually get McFlurries. And so I was like, okay, we're going to just do this vlog where I am trying it out, you know, in real time. Here's my thoughts. And I rated it. And, you know,
it was great. It looked so good. I'm thinking, I'm in.
It was delicious. It was
That's
delicious.
one of the things I noticed about you. You also do a segment where you just answer your friends, your viewers' questions about real life questions, how you do it all. Talk about that. Is that like a recurring segment, or is that just the one that I noticed? It was just really
Maybe the
powerful to me.
assumptions. Was it answering
Yes,
your
the assumptions.
Yes. So that was, I don't know who started that on YouTube, but responding to your assumptions about me kind of is a hot topic on YouTube. And I really like it because, you know, so much of what we see on social media and YouTube, everything is curated. Even the stuff that you see is only what I want you to see, right? So it's not live and uneditable. You know, you can't take it back like what you do. So I have, you know, the power to really edit everything out. If I don't like a certain thing that you see, or if I think something's going to be misconstrued, I'll take it out. But what's really cool is the assumptions really kind of gives us an opportunity to take away some of that polish and that shine that you think that we all have. We're all real normal people, and we all have flaws, and we all have, you know, things that may be less palatable. And so
The dark side.
Yeah. And so it's like, well, you know, I really like the nitty gritty questions where I'm not going to necessarily spin every response into a positive light. So I'm like, you know, yeah, you know, certain questions may be less palatable, but I'm going to give you the honest answer. And I like that because it adds a little bit more grit to the tone of my channel. And so you can really see, I really feel like vulnerability is the most important thing now in social media. Like you have to show that you're human and you have flaws. And that's why frequently I go without makeup, and I'm dressed very comfortably. I usually wear like logo, like graphic tees with like silly phrases on them, like t-shirts. That's my
That's
style
your thing.
now.
That's your
my thing.
style.
Yeah, so
It's comfortable for you.
it's comfortable.
What was your approach in these assumptions? Which ones did you want to use? What were some of your favorite assumptions people had about you? I know about you being busy, because that was my thing. She's an anesthesiologist. She's a wife. She's a mom.
Right.
How the heck do you have time to do all of this? And are you really happy?
Exactly. Well, I am really happy. I was not always happy. There are ebbs and flows in everyone's life, and I have fully talked about that on my channel. I said, a couple of years ago when we were living in North Carolina for a year, when my husband was doing fellowship, I was not the happiest. I was miserable, actually. I had a really, really strenuous job as an anesthesiologist. I was on call 2/3 of the year, and I was traveling sometimes 200 miles a day back and forth to the hospital. And I miss my family. I miss Houston. I'm a born and bred Houstonian.
Where'd you go to school?
I went to Memorial High School.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah. So yeah, there have been times when I really wasn't happy, but I'm super happy now, and I have no problems shouting that from the rooftops. But so I think that's really fun to kind of express that. But as far as like when they asked, how do you do it all? Well, the polished answer would be, oh, well, I sit down and I take out my planner and I just block out, chunks of time. And no, the answer is I have help. And I tell them that. I'm like, I have help. I have a nanny who works really, really hard to take care of my child and loves my child as much as I do. And, whenever we outsource, like things that we don't have time to do, we're going to outsource it, someone to clean the house, someone to clean the pool.
There's an app for everything.
Right. And we get food delivered sometimes.
Yep.
I mean, it's just, I don't always cook. I actually am a terrible cook. I like to bake. I'm not a good cook. But, so nobody's perfect. And the way that I do what I love to do every day is I have people that help me out.
What's your favorite app? Do you have one?
Oh, Instagram.
Okay. Definitely. All right. Good.
Definitely.
You seem like, and I don't know what you wanted to be when you were a little girl. What was it? Were you always looking into the medical? You wanted to be an astronaut.
I wanted to be an astronaut.
So you were already studying hard as a little girl. So you could have become
I don't know about
anything.
studying hard, but I was inspired by, I think it was Sally Ride, and we were learning about, space and stuff in, like, I think elementary school, and I was just like, this is so cool. And I really liked that with astronauts, you had to be at the peak of everything. You had to be super smart, super like fit, physically able, and coordinated. I just thought that was fascinating. I was like, really, astronauts, I felt like, are the peak of humanity.
Isn't that incredible? So from astronaut to anesthesiologist.
That was an interesting journey. So, I mean, right up until middle of my college career, I really did not know I wanted to be a doctor. I was a psychology major. Before that, I was undeclared. I was like, I don't know what I want to do, but I knew that I really enjoyed psychology and helping people. Mm-hmm. And it was a class one day where I raised my hand and I said, well, what you're talking about, people need therapy and medicine. Like, how do I prescribe the medicine? And they said, oh, well, you can't do that as a psychologist. You have to go to med school and become a doctor. I said, well, I'll just do that.
Just like that.
Yeah.
Obviously, a lot of support from parents.
Oh, yeah. They were totally supportive.
Right.
They're like, okay, but, that's like really hard. And you're 2 years into college and these people have been doing pre-med, courses for 2 years. So, I mean, I crammed it all in. I like killed myself trying to do everything in 2 years and graduate on time because I refused to graduate later.
I'm amazed with highly motivated people. I like to learn from you. Do you have any strange daily habits that people might go, that is really weird, because you're very motivated? Are you a coffee drinker? Do you have certain things you do with food? Do you exercise a different way? As a woman, what makes you as extremely successful and accomplished in a day?
That's a good question. I don't know. I don't know if I've really thought about that. I think I'm a morning person, so
they say that's the key to success.
Is it?
Yes.
There you go.
I get up at 3:30 in the morning, still waiting to be successful, but maybe you come up at maybe 4 o'clock, 4:30.
I think you've reached that. I think you've reached that, Dana. No, I think I'm a morning person. I would don't ask me to sleep in. Like, there's just no way.
That's why I am. My husband always says,
I'd rather
"Can you
go to
just
bed
sleep
early.
in?" No,
I don't get anything done at night. I get everything done in the morning.
In the morning,
yeah. I'm definitely a coffee person. In fact, there was even a hashtag Kristina coffee for my favorite Starbucks order for a couple years, which is basically you ask for 3 shots of espresso.
Espresso? You're a 3-shotter?
Yeah, I know.
Whoa.
I've backed down since then.
Whoa.
So 3 shots of espresso over ice with 3 pumps of white mocha sauce. And it tastes like Vietnamese iced coffee.
Oh my, which is killer. You got to stay away from that stuff.
I know.
mean,
that's why I backed off.
That's my happy drug right there.
That is literally, I mean, it's sweet. It's like super caffeinating, and it is just like.
Yep. But you have to drink it slowly.
No, you do.
So you don't want to jump out of your skin.
And you let the ice kind of melt a little bit, and then so it kind of forms its own, because in the beginning it's like you ask for it in like a venti cup.
Right.
Because you get a bunch of ice, and then it kind of like rises up as the ice is melting. Oh my God, try it. You'll love it. It's so good.
Even if you're unhappy, that will make you happy.
It would.
Do you know, honestly, and I want to tell you something. I have dealt with people who have lost someone and devastated. The minute they want their Starbucks, I know that they're on the road to recovery.
That's a good point.
Right?
Yes,
You think
definitely.
about it. When you want that Starbucks or that coffee, that comfortable
something
thing.
comforting.
Yes,
yes, exactly.
Oh, I just love that. What about movies? TV. Do you do anything with that with Harper? I mean, I've got this little boy who comes around, 2 years old. His name is Milo. Cloudy with a chance of meatballs. I am the cloudy with a chance of meatballs lady.
Yeah.
And in the beginning of the movie, while they're showing the credits, there's a banana that comes into the scene. And I always have a banana standing by, and like I throw it right when the TV does
that's
it.
awesome.
And he cracks up. Do you do anything like that with Harper?
So it's interesting. We try not to. It's very ironic. Someone who's on social media and screen and just YouTube, and I like to watch YouTube. But for all that being said, I try not to expose her to a lot of screen time. We're slowly introducing it now. She's 20 months. She's getting there. The Pediatrics Association recommends, no screen time under 2. It's unavoidable these days. It's just not practical.
Right.
But she loves a YouTube channel called Coco Melon, and they have little short 3-minute videos that are all computer animated with nursery rhyme songs. And so it's very PG.
That.
It's very it's educational, ABCs, all that kind of stuff. So she'll just bring me a phone, whether it's my husband's phone or my phone, and she'll say, ABCs.
See?
So
that's good.
yeah, she's already hooked on the YouTube.
Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star was my kid's
Yes,
favorites.
Twinkle, Twinkle.
And man, if you're sitting on an airplane and you're on the tarmac, You bring out
Essential.
that phone,
Essential.
and that's a great. It's called
Totally.
Coco.
Coco melon.
All right, keep that
It's
handy.
so
I love
good.
that.
It's
That
so
is a
good.
lifesaver. What about restaurants here in Houston that you and your husband maybe date night?
Oh, we like anything Mexican food. You know, you don't really realize how much you miss Tex-Mex until you leave Texas.
I know. Trust me.
Because I'm sorry, North Carolina was beautiful, but they don't know Tex-Mex.
No.
It does not exist. So we missed it so much. So we love like Lupe tortillas and ninfas, and I mean they just opened the new ninfas right around the corner.
I know, right here in the Galleria.
I'm so excited.
I go to
I
the
haven't been there
original
yet.
on Navigation.
Oh yeah,
That's my favorite.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
And I used to go to the one that was on I-10 and Blaylock. Before that closed a long time ago.
Yeah.
So we like the Tex-Mex. I love sushi, so I'm a huge sushi fan. I love Aka Sushi House in like Kirby, West Alabama.
Yes, uptown.
Really, really good. Love that. So
What are your thoughts on Houston? So you've been here your whole life. There's a lot of changes going on.
there are a lot of
Good,
changes.
bad, favorite
Yeah.
things, favorite areas, favorite places to do your clothes. I know you get a lot of opportunities to go to fashion places for your social media, but where do
Yeah.
you personally like to shop?
I'm primarily, just like I said, because of time, I'm primarily an online shopper. But if I shop in town, I love Kuhl Linscomb, also on like Kirby and West Alabama, I think, as well. There's actually right around the corner from Aka Sushi House, so you can see I kind of like,
It's all
like
right
those
there.
things
Yep.
That place just has a little bit of everything. If you ever need a gift for someone, if you want to spruce up your bathroom with like little frou-frou things, I mean, it is just, they have makeup, high-end makeup. It's a wonderful place. It's my happy place. I love shopping for clothes at Nordstrom. And I mean, I'm a big Amazon fan. I just do everything.
I
on
love Amazon.
I do.
The fact that somehow
good.
I got my husband's account on my phone and he still doesn't know it, and he's wondering why all these things keep arriving.
You're a lucky woman.
It's pure heaven. I know.
have
It's
my
pure
own
heaven.
accounts.
Maybe it's his gift. It could be a secret gift to me, and he's just not because he follows me around with money. Honestly,
Exactly.
let's see. So TV, no. Let's see. Movies. What do you and your husband watch? Any movies together?
Every night we're watching Netflix or some sort of show. I mean, it was Game of Thrones. I really like The Last Kingdom on Netflix. And Murder Mystery, is that what it was called? It was a movie that came out recently with Adam Sandler.
Oh, Adam Sandler and
was
my
it called
favorite,
Murder Mystery?
Yeah,
Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah.
That was so.
I watched it 2 nights in a row.
Oh my
I
God,
really
it
like
was
that.
so good.
Wasn't that
It was
so
so fun.
fun?
It was like a Netflix original movie.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
shot for Netflix, and I'm just really impressed by their original programming. I think it's so good.
I just loved her outfits, cute dresses
know,
that
she
she
was
wore.
so
Right? She's
cute.
amazing. She's 50
She was
years
so
old, and it's
cute.
disgusting.
I know, it is
And
disgusting.
I know. By the way, I do want to mention I love your kitchen.
Oh, thank
You also did the kitchen remodel.
I did a little bit. Yeah, I just did some little finishing touches on it. We just kind of changed a few things around, and I enjoy that. I'm not very good at it, but I enjoy it.
I watch a lot of these, Fixer Upper, of course, all those
gosh,
things. HGTV.
I love that show.
I had to just go away from it. It was
Yeah.
I was too addicted to it.
me too.
I
It's a
forgot about
problem.
everything. I didn't eat, sleep.
Yeah,
I just
no,
kept
it's a
watching it.
problem.
You did matchy with your metal in your kitchen.
I did.
Your faucets.
Yes.
Your I love that you've got your pasta
Yes.
faucet.
My pot filler. It was, so when we moved, we love our house. We moved into our house 2 weeks before Hurricane Harvey.
No.
I was massively pregnant. It was a very stressful time.
You didn't flood, did you?
No, thank God.
Oh gosh.
It came up into our yard, but did not go into the house. We're very, very fortunate. But it was a stressful time. But, at the time, you don't really notice that, like, certain things were, like, oil-rubbed bronze, and certain things were chrome, and certain things were nickel. And it was just, like, one day I was just like, wow, that is just way too much.
Yep.
I know it's, like, very chic to, like, mix metals, but, like, not this much. Not this
That
way.
was just chaos.
It was chaos. So I was like, okay, I really like that my countertops were white and the cabinets were painted white. So I was like, let's add some contrast. So I did just matte black everything.
It looks beautiful.
Oh,
It
thank you.
really looks very
It
calming.
was super easy. It was like I
very
just
pretty.
shopped online, picked everything out. We had a couple mishaps. Like we got a faucet and was like I did not measure or look at the measurements online, and it was like definitely like half the size of what it should have been.
Yeah.
So that had to go back.
That part's hard.
Yeah.
My son renovates houses in the East End, old homes,
wonderful.
and turns them into spectacular homes.
Wow.
He is an online addict, and he goes to these for lighting.
Mm-hmm.
You could get these beautiful lights. He'll be I'm going, well, this is $300. He's going, Mom, I can get one for $13.99 online.
It's
right?
amazing. Yeah.
So there's so many ways that you
Yes.
could be really frugal
Yeah,
with
I
these
mean,
beautiful purchases.
online there's no overhead for these companies
Yes.
primarily. So, you could go to some fancy, Galleria store and get lighting and spend a whole bunch of money, or you can see what you like and then find something online. You just have
Online.
to be a good searcher.
Yeah, yeah, and you're a smart lady that way. If you've got people from outside of Houston, and I know you probably have viewers all over the country, maybe
Oh, yeah.
all over the world, and they're like, Kristina, why Houston? What would you say to them?
Houston has heart. I think that's the biggest thing is that, there's so much soul here. We're really passionate about a lot of things. And I like to think that we're kind of a best kept secret, because people think that we come, ride to work on our horses and wear cowboy hats. I'm like, yeah, sure. Let them think that. That's fine.
I know.
Whatever.
My dad in Vermont still thinks that. And I'm like, okay, Dad, whatever.
We have great dining. We have great museums. We get all the best attractions. We have great activities for kids. We have great shopping. I mean, it's world-class everything. And, but no, it's kind of like nobody knows about it. And I'm fine with that because we don't need any more traffic.
We just don't boast.
No, we don't.
There's just something about
We
it. Very
don't.
humble.
Yes.
And it's not a beautiful place. I always say we have to create our beauty.
We do.
Right?
We create a lot of greenery around us. I mean, there's a lot of concrete and steel, but I think we create a lot of nature around us. There's a lot of trees here, more than you would think, for a city this size. And it's also sprawling. It's massive. It takes you an hour to drive. What other place do you take you an hour to drive from one end to the other? And it's expanding. I mean, we're going out to Sealy now.
I say, and I'm from New York, so I say, and don't be offended because I know you're a native Houstonian. I don't meet very many.
That's okay.
I say, once us Yankees moved in, we started fixing up this place.
Well, that's
Is that wrong
probably
to
true.
say?
No, that's probably true. It's good to get a little outside input.
influence.
Yeah, because
yes.
otherwise we'd just be sitting ducks and kind of like we'd
Just
never know
doing
any
your
different.
thing.
Yeah, exactly.
2 more questions. Do you have time?
Oh, of course.
All right. I want to know your favorite places to go in Houston, maybe
Okay.
alone as a couple or with Harper.
Okay. I really like taking Harper to the Children's Museum.
Yes.
We really love that. It's so fun for her. It's just really stimulating. They have different age-appropriate areas, and she just adores it. She likes to she kind of vibes off being around all these other little babies, and I just love seeing it through her eyes. I think it's an institution. It's a Houston institution, and it's something that I've really looked forward to taking her to ever since she was born. So.
Excellent. Houston celebrities. It could be sports. It could be whatever. Do you have anyone in Houston that you've always been like, man, now that's Houston?
Okay, so I'm going to be basically portraying my age here, but I remember very distinctly during the Houston Dream Team with the Houston Rockets, that era.
Yes.
I was at my local grocery store, and I was not then, and I'm still now barely, comprehending of sports. I like sports. I really like football. But at the time, I guess, the basketball was on every single night. It seemed it was the playoffs and everything. And it was Hakeem Olajuwon and everybody. I was just like, this is so cool. And I tugged on my mom's jacket. I'm like, Mom, that's Clyde Drexler over there. That's Clyde Drexler, Houston Rocket. And so I said, give me your, she always has a little notepad that she writes her grocery list on or whatever.
Right.
And I said, give it to me. And I walked up to him. I said, Mr. Drexler, can I have your autograph? And he was like, sure. And he signed it. And I walked away, and I was just the most exhilarating moment of my life.
Isn't that so
and I kept
fun?
it.
And he was
still have
okay?
it.
He was nice to you?
He was super tall
Yeah.
and super nice. Like, I think he did not expect to be recognized in the grocery store by,
is so cool.
someone this tall. But
We've got a lot of celebrities who just kind of do their thing. We've got a new one moving to
Yes.
town, a new rocket, Russell Westbrook.
Oh,
they just traded
no
Chris Paul.
way.
He's coming here.
Amazing.
And I focused on his wife. She was a UCLA basketball star herself.
No way.
They met at UCLA. They are in love. They've got
What a
3
cool
great kids,
story.
and they're coming to Houston.
Oh, that's great. And I really love JJ Watt. We can't forget him.
Can't
because I
forget
think,
JJ.
He's not from Houston, but he came here as fast as he could, and I feel like he's probably going to be a Houstonian for life. And I really appreciate everything that he's done for the city.
Yeah. My daughter, and I think it's completely inappropriate, she moved to where JJ Watt comes from. So he comes here to
Really?
Houston.
And she just
moved to
left there.
Wisconsin
Yeah.
with my precious Emma. But it is
Oh.
he comes from
She'll come
such
back.
a great place. I think I give her 2 years. She
Yeah,
hasn't been there in the winter
no.
yet.
Having from having experienced leaving Houston, when I thought, when I left Houston, I was like, okay, bye. Like bigger and
New
greater
adventure.
things. Yeah, and I never expected to miss it as much as I did.
I love to
It's
hear
wonderful.
that. I love to hear that. And I knew I would love to meet you. And I'm so glad you were able
It's
to
so
take
great to meet
time out
you.
of your crazy schedule to just share a bit of your life and to help motivate us, ladies. It's neat to kind of take a peek in. Like, yes, it's kind of voyeuristic like your purse, but just to see how do you
fun.
live your life so we can maybe make our lives a little bit better with some tips that you've given us. I really
appreciate
like
that.
it. I
Thank
really
you for
like
having
it.
me.
Thank you so much. And we hope to see you around town. Maybe
Absolutely.
I'll see you at your favorite store, your grocery store. Who knows, a Rockets game.
That would be amazing.
Thanks, Kristina.
Thank you.